Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. So in the last day, we have essentially gone sideways, banging our head up against this 0.65 of this diagonal pitch fan that we've had price in for some time now. Can we maintain this ascending channel path forever, or will we go and sweep that 34K range begging to be grabbed? Let's go into the high block to check out the liquidity. What is high block? Well, people lock that liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and we get to see where those crispy characters are. So let's do it now. So yesterday attempted to make this burst up to the upside, stopping out some of the shorts, but basically getting too many longs as drag weight, causing it to go lower. We had 156 million longs opening up into the short, which caused it to V-shape into those 100Xers, obliterating them.
Fatality.
Also trapped their 50X brethren down here at 37,635, and they went down and ABC'd their way to their corpse.
Fatality.
And where do we go from here? There is still some more in these candles to the left here, some more liquidity into the downside. We're talking about retracing to a pool. Let's go and hold ourselves to the flame to see what we're talking about. We're saying I would not be interested in longing necessarily till we get to this region. We did go up a little bit, hit the range for that double top idea, and we are coming down to a certain region here, basically coming into the vector candle here. So we came into this basic level here and are starting to hit our head against that level. What is this level? I think this might be the equilibrium. Yeah, just coming to that equilibrium bounce of the impulse here. Do we come into that golden pocket range and below? That is the question. Let's go ahead and throw on the momentum. I have limited time. I will take my son to school and go to work thereafter. So link is in the description for more. I believe this is the last day for the sale that's over there, so be aware of that. If you were ever on the fence at all, now is the time to hop off the fence. So we have this, you can scroll down the features, toggle everything at your leisure, read about the components of the trend cloud, the baselines, the stochastic array. These are the things we go over every day. If there was ever such a consistent system of the same things going over every single day ad infinitum, and you could see these things play out. It's not repaints. We saw this in the moment as it came down alongside the rocket ships as well. So the proof is in the pudding, and we are here to provide that pudding every single day of how this operates. Okay, so we bounced off the 12-hour cloud. We were talking about if you cannot break through it, the inversion of the cloud, it works either way, which is why the cloud says here, thin clouds represent weakness or consolidation points. Keep in mind when the cloud thins, a potential expansion or reversal is in. The keyword being expansion or reversal. So it could go both ways, but the thinning cloud is your flashpoint of interest, and that's where it came into play. All right, so we have limited time, so let's get right to it. Heads up display is on. Let's go to the daily time frame. We're talking about the 3-day time frame starting to flash that cross down event. 41 minutes for this candle to close. It has not closed. Maybe one of their things is to not overextend the 3-day. They can't muster the strength to overextend the 3-day. So after this 3-day closes, it dips a little bit down and goes up for one last wick hurrah on the next 3-day, and then starts to make that cross down event. So we got 40 minutes till this 3-day closes. It's still beneath the baselines, which is going to cause this line to flash the baseline cross down event signal. We talked about that at the beginning of the week, saying it would be about 9 days, and that was about 9 days ago, or not 9 days ago, it was about 6 days ago. So we have 3 more days, 1 more candle of 3-day to watch out for. But essentially, when you get these cross down events, they do play out. This was July 27th, April 19th, cross up event. Wednesday, September 13th, we did go over that one as well for that upside rocket play that did display rockets as well. So do what you're gonna do, but that's looking like it's on the horizon. Looking at the daily candle looks like it's providing us with a indecision top, if not a bearish shooting star of sorts. The angle of the cloud also insinuating a possible taper of that daily time frame. The Williams potentially suppressing the 50 level of the stochastic here. Coming to the 22 hour is starting to ambiguously hold out on that 50 level, not giving us the signal anymore. Perhaps the 22 is not their channel of reference anymore. Let's see, the 12 hour. So the 12 hour is also tapering, but still pointing to the upside here. We still have a ways for it to possibly break down. And going to the 6, wait, let's see what the stochastic is at. Yeah, ambiguously holding the line. Subtle support of the 12 could go either way, suppression or expansion upside. 6 hour also holding this mean point of the 50 with the money flow and the RSI at 50. Williams just below overbought, same with the KD lines. Not anything either way, ambiguous is the word. 4 hour has the money flow above the RSI as we are dropping here, suggesting that the money flow is fatiguing. It's limit orders holding this up, but essentially possibly fatiguing and seeing this 4 hour cascade down some more because of this money flow disparity from the RSI. That would be interesting to note if we had something like this, where this never got to overbought and just dumps pretty hard like this did to the downside on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour is slightly bearish in tone. Hourly attempting to take off here, but it is beneath the cloud, and this is one of those things where if it was reversed, you would say, hey, we can take this as a burst through the cloud continuation idea, and maybe that is what is happening to the downside. Your little A, B, see ya, down into these pools, who knows. It is Thursday, November 30th, the last day of November, so the monthly candle will close. Keep that in mind as the day goes through. Do we close out the month strong? What does the monthly candle actually look like? Let's review that real quick. We had a nice month of upside with a slight wickage to the downside. Could be the same as October. We have 3 months of essentially upside. They call it 3 white soldiers or something like that, even though they're green candles by nature. I don't know why it has to be white, but okay. I guess the light is white. Yin yang, whatever you want to call it. All right, so yeah, so they have this potential of closing out the month in this range, and then after the month closes, anything is anyone's guess. So this is the monthly close coming soon. All right, so going back to the hourly beneath the cloud here, and you could see this continuation of a B trash consolidation equals this trash consolidation equals a B wave to the downside. with the C acceleration, so we could get an acceleration down to these pools. We're here for it either way. And yeah, that's somewhat straightforward. It is Thursday, November 30th, the midweek reversal point. So if we saw Monday and Tuesday, basically Monday ripped it lower, only false move Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday kind of took it higher. Thursday could be your midweek reversal point with a rip to the downside. If we go back to pools that can coincide with that narrative, the 1 minute time frame has thicker liquidity. Of course, you can say exactly to the tune of 2.6 billion and long liquidity below. So coming down to these pools, perhaps at that 36,860 region. 36,860 would be a deeper retrace zone. So let's put this deep on real quick. 36,860 would put you all the way sweeping below this, actually, down here. So if you were basically sweeping the entire range of liquidity, that would be a deep retrace, but that would be not bullish in nature. That would be the opposite of bullish, because you would negate this entire retrace. So this is where you would be looking for some sort of idea of a bounce, if there ever was one. Basically the TA unchanged from yesterday. This is why the patient person waits for the trade to come to them. If you had just FOMO'd here, you had been chopped up and wasting your mental capital watching it, and there's no reason to do that. Meanwhile, last night within the Discord, I did pass another account of my Top Step. This is a Top Step 50K account combine, 100% winning days. Passed it in 3 days, 93% win rate. And that is on the way. Account number 7, building those up on the NQ. So meanwhile, scalping the NQ has been starting to make headway on that. All right, so let's go see what is going on. What's up, MMA Mark? How you doing? Thank you for stopping on in. Let's go take a look at the total and total 3 and Bitcoin dominance and the usual like. So once again, this I turn on the history for Momentum Master Ultimate. You don't need to do that. I just like to see every point it banged its head against an overbought wall. And these are not signals, they are interpretations of time frames, hence the number 5 here. So that's when 5 time frames was oversold here, it banged to the upside. 5 time frames overbought, starting to fatigue. And these 5s and these 6s are quite nice when they close on daily time frames. For certain, there's a elasticity rebound effect which goes into motion. So seeing where they close on those time frames is quite nice. So I turn on all the history and then just see each time it closed. But it can get a bit much, especially if you go to the lower time frames. So it's just meant to be toggled like this heads-up display on my face. So exactly how I go over the analysis is how I use the Momentum Master. It's not always on. It's when I need to do my fibs, I just eyeball these off and do my fibs. When I need to see the momentum, I turn on the momentum. There's 3 pillars to trading: the liquidity aspect with high block and footprint charts, and then there's the math aspect, and then there is the momentum aspect, all of which are not to be ignored. So looking at total, coming down to a retrace region here similar to BTC, if we draw a impulse here, we can see that just like BTC, it needs to come down to this pocket region for any interest of mine to be generated. If it will bounce up, this looks like it's again an ABC kind of consolidation trap to go into these regions. Deeper retrace. If we look at basically the 4-hour We can see if that is similar. We are beneath the cloud on the 4-hour and on the hourly. We are beneath the cloud as well. So the cloud, I trade with the cloud. The cloud is against upside, so I am against the upside. It has nothing to do with my opinions. It's a volumetric cloud. It's starting to thin. We are seeing this kind of curvature and thinning idea. It just does the same thing over and over again, similar to here. It started to curve. We got above it, you long. You get beneath it, you short. It's fairly straightforward. There's times it doesn't play out, but for the most part, those flash points on the cloud like here and here are money plays. So you play alongside the cloud, you play in line with the trend. So that is the Momentum Master Trinity in a nutshell. If we go to the total 3 also giving it back after the nukes that we saw up here. We never put in a higher high after the nuke. That nuke was a very on point target flashpoint. Nukes do play out too, just like the rockets. It's something to be aware of, which is why we're looking at an ultimate sweep of 34K would be the ideal thing. We're looking at this 12-hour shift. We've gone beneath the cloud. We are essentially bearishly retesting this flashpoint of the cloud here. So watch out if you have any alts. You might want to consider taking some profit on those alts as we enter this midweek reversal point. For the week, you have some winners, but overall bleeding out slowly and not giving you too much to work with as we reach that nuke point and start to ABC our way down. If you recall, on Saturday we had an ABC like this. We removed it to remove our bias, but yeah, we had this cloud as the flashpoint and we could be coming down into here. Looking at Bitcoin dominance, the dominance is starting to take over here. We were talking about this cloud flashpoint. Once again, the cloud had you at hello there, and we are seeing this bounce of the dominance. USDT dominance, we're talking about this potential of coming back above the cloud. We got this dip and rip idea. It keeps playing with the cloud, but the cloud is kind of curving in a manner here suggestive of going up. USDT dominance going up means people getting knocked out into USDT. This daily cloud is one we've been hitting our head against, but the curvature of the cloud and the thinning is insinuating an upside surge in that direction, maybe today or tomorrow. Run for profit Friday, unclear which, but watch out for that. Sweep of 34K would be beautiful, as I've been saying for some time now. No need to go up forever. It's a silly pipe dream that doesn't need to be there. It's only to scare out the shorts. So are the shorts scared enough is the question. And are the longs cocky enough? The DXY came down to this profit region. Also happens to be the 618 here. So we already got this retrace into a region for the dollar. Is there going to be a reaction here for some upside, putting risk on assets into a tizzy? If you look at gold, gold has been seeing a rip to the upside. We were talking about that projection. It hit our 2414 region perfectly from this impulse retrace idea. The math is embedded within. What can I say? And we could be seeing some tops for that store of value starting to come down as the profit taking occurs. And yeah, that is my story and I'm sticking to it. I have limited time. Once again, I'm taking my son to school and going straight to work from there today. So anyone have any last requests while you have me? It's a pretty interesting thing to watch here. We have the hourly time frame. Does the hourly time frame play out, or does it get a suppression from this 4 hour? This 4 hour could possibly double top too. We are above the cloud on BTC. Hasn't gotten to my interest zone. I'm not going to long an equilibrium place. That's not my style. So everyone needs to find their own probabilities for what is more probable. And I think going to these pocket regions is a more decent idea. So let's go see what you got. Anyone have anything to look at? Matic, anything? Boom. Let's go see. Anyone? Anyone? All right, so we're starting this wickage on the 4-hour. We got 25 minutes for the daily candle close. The daily candle once again closing beneath the baselines, trying to reclaim this small baseline, but it's been doing that for some time now. The main thing we're looking at in the next 3 days is this cross down event of the 3-day. Does it take us to the downside? The last time, once again, July 24th, it did do just that. Boom, down to the downside with that SpaceX cash out of their BTC. All right, let's go see. VeChain. Sorry, I missed the VeChain as I was signing off last time. I was like, oops. That's why I gave it a little bit more time before I signed off there. I realized there is a delay. Okay, so the VeChain 3-day also flashing that potential cross down event. The cross up had you at hello over here back in September, and then it was all upside from there. So these baselines can be set as alerts to your phone or whatever. We have dynamic alerts here. You can set it on any cross or a cross over, a cross under, whether we're making a higher high or higher low on that time frame. A lot of the dynamic alerts of the stochastic array, every time you get a rocket ship or these 7 time frames oversold, it will let you know. So you can be your own guru, as the statement goes. So here we have this potentially crossing down. We have reached into a liquidity zone here. There is a bit of happiness up in here, which we have reclaimed by this wick here. Fair value gap recovery, whatever you want to call it. You know, so they have these weird terminologies now to make themselves proprietary, called consequent encroachment. And if it's below this 0.5 region of this fair value gap, then it is downside projection kind of thing. But these concepts have been around since 2012 and things like that, and it's not of one person's invention. It's a whole community from baby pips and beyond. So if we look at the 12-hour time frame here, starting to, if we look at the daily here, let's see, daily is still finding these order blocks off of the cloud here. Boom, hit that region, could be double topping here. The cloud is starting to thin ever so slightly. You had this hidden bullish divergence with the money flow beneath the RSI here. That was a perfect long entry on the daily. You were holding the super trend and the cloud at 2 o'clock. That was a nice play from last week. So where do we go from here? Let's go to the 12-hour once again, making our descent through the time frames. If we pull an impulse from this impulsive wave here to here, we came to the 0.5 and bounced off of that equilibrium path. Are we going to go into the pocket here and sweep this range at this level? Let's go look at the liquidity real quick for VeChain. VET. High block is quite nice because they provide you with that nice liquidity zone that's not guessing. So you have 34 million imbalance to shorts that it could come back to slightly. So coming up into this 2 cent 222 region, 0.222. 0.222 will have you clearing the short pool up in here. So if you go up to here, this would be clearing everything of the shorts and then possibly going lower from there on its path to potentially ripping to the downside with this entire market at some stage. You had nukes also appear, it looks like, on the hourly time frame, as you see. So the reason why they don't appear on other time frames, so this formula, the stochastic array formula that you can see on this website here and read about, is a never before seen formula, and it's candle close specific. So it needs to have been in that state across the 7 time frames and close for it to lock in. So the higher the time frame is that locks this symbol in, the more likely it will reverse in the opposite direction. So if you can get like a 4-hour to close with a nuke, it's more probable than an hourly closing with a nuke. Hopefully that makes sense. So it did not close, or it closed there with the 4-hour, but yeah, getting these time frames to get exhausted closes is what you're looking for with that. So the 4-hour also having this struggle up against the cloud, like BTC beneath the cloud here, needs to break above it and hold. If not, you are going ABC up to here and potentially a larger C wave downside. So this is your a smaller ABC within a larger ABC coming down, potentially speaking. So this is what we're looking at with the liquidity here. You have only that short pool to deal with, and then after they deal with that pool, it's the sky's the limit to the downside. This is only the 1 minute time frame, so we have to go to the higher time frame for VeChain. So let's do that real quick. VeChain. Do they have it is the question. Some of them they don't have by the looks of it. So they don't have the higher time frame one with VeChain, unfortunately. So we cannot see what is below, but the Fibonacci has you at hello, so coming down into this region would be more reasonable as a higher probability sweep of the range at this time. So we're beneath the cloud. I trade with the cloud, as I said. So the cloud is in favor of shorts. So even if you do a liquidity grab to this pool, it is ultimately possibly coming lower with this nuke here. And yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Fairly straightforward today for me. No ambiguousness, but we'll see where it stands at the end of the day. Do we come down to these pockets or not? We will see. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you